This area of the tutorial is specifically dealing with user and password management. BadgeBuilder has 4 different major levels that allow you to have various different access to the software, and they go like this. From the bottom down, the program will start in browse mode. The concept of browse mode, with a couple of potential exceptions of system configuration, basically is designed to do just what it says. You're allowed to look, but you're not allowed to make modifications. And so you can look at the cards, you can search for cards, you can browse through the cards. You will not be able to create a new card, you will not be able to edit cards, you cannot delete cards, you can't print cards, you can't take pictures. Very, very limited situation, but if you need to just be able to verify somebody's information, pull up a card or what have you, then that's the right item for you to do. Don't even need a username and password to do that, because the risks of being able to do anything untoward to the database are basically 0. The next level up would be what we call a normal level user, and a normal level user should be the average everyday user of the system, somebody who you would like to be able to have them take pictures, you need them to be able to create a new card, you need them to be able to print a card out, but you don't want them to be able to delete every record in the database with one click of a button. You don't want them to be able to make modifications to the database or to the card design or to the way that the fields are assigned to your card design. And so this one helps to give you more functionality in the everyday operations area, but still limits you in terms of the overall access to the program. The next level up beyond that is one called Supervisor. Supervisor has all of the capabilities in the software, with the one exception that a supervisor cannot modify usernames and passwords. So the supervisor has access to make any change throughout the program, with one exception of usernames and passwords. The final level user, which is the only user the system comes with by default, is a master user. You must always have one master user, because the system would not be manageable as far as username and passwords if you happen to not have a master user. So it's very important, and therefore the system will not allow you to have less than one master user. By default, it comes with a user called master with a password of ID card. And if we click on the set of keys, which also comes up when you log in using the wizard that comes up, the Quick Start wizard, you'll get this same dialog. And the way that we manage passwords is you either put in master and ID card if you haven't changed it, or you put in your appropriate username and password. So when you put in a correct username and password to log in, you'll have the ability to actually click login. If you've entered a correct username and password that has master level access, you will also be given the ability to maintain usernames, passwords, and levels. So let's go ahead and go in there very briefly, and let's just take a very quick look at what it is that you can do with this dialog. First of all, you'll notice that there is only one user in here right now, which is called master. The password is hidden, and that's just done so that you can't just simply retrieve somebody's password, but you can reset their password, a relatively typical thing to do with systems. And also to go down and select the security level, and if you notice, if you drop down this list, you'll see that there are the 4 that we just talked about: browse, normal, supervisory, and master. You can have as many different types of users as you wish, and you can specify any kind of password that you wish. And again, if I try to delete the master password user, it will come up and say the currently active username cannot be deleted, and that's because they are a master user and they couldn't be changed. But if you want to create a new user, you can go ahead and simply say add, put in the name, the password, and the security level that they're allowed to have, and then go ahead and say OK. So if we say John and we set a password of 12345, and we say OK, we now have a user of John. He's a browse level user only, and that's as far as he would be able to go. If we weren't happy with his user, we can simply hit delete, and it says, user John, are you sure? We can say yes, and it goes away. And that's it. It really is as simple as that. 4 levels: browse, normal, supervisory, and master. Must log in as a master user in order to be able to create and manage passwords, and cannot delete a final master user so that you don't lock yourself out of being able to change other username and passwords in the future. We very, very strongly encourage people to use this feature. It prevents an accidental usage of the or malicious use of the software to create an ID badge for somebody who might be able to then get into an area or appear to be an employee or a member of your organization that doesn't belong. So we would very strongly suggest that you change the master password or create a new master user and delete the default.